Just a week or so ago, Mega Man Legacy Collection was announced, revealed, and you're bringing back sort of the original 6 Mega Man games. Can you tell us a little bit about why you wanted to bring them back now and what you're offering with this sort of collection?
Yeah, so these original 6 games really haven't been widely available on a lot of platforms for quite a while. So this was a good chance with the new console cycle, an advent of new technology that we have with Digital Eclipse. It just seemed like a good time to kind of marry these two things, like a way to preserve these 8-bit games with this new technology that lets you, increase the clarity of the sprites, as well as getting these new digital platforms on Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. It seemed like a nice, two things happening at the same time, like a good time to revisit these old games.
Speaking of that, sort of, will you be able to choose between playing it like in an original mode and this sort of enhanced mode, or how do you treat it?
So the game itself, as you're playing, you immediately just the base game is this 1080p visual style that the technology behind it is treating the sprites with this really reverent technology that makes it super crisp, super clear. The color values are really nice. It's just among the nicest the games have ever looked. But then if you want, you can add these additional filters that can sort of undo that and make it look like a blurry old monitor from the 80s if you want to, and sometimes you want to do that. But yeah, there's no turn on the good kind of mode. It's already when you turn it on, it's hopefully it's noticeable right away. You'll see these these nice crisp edges to the sprites and this clearness that probably hasn't been there in a while.
But of course, the important thing with the Mega Man games is that the controls are there, the exactness of because it's a very demanding game, demanding games. So you have to sort of have that perfect thing. So you've not altered anything inside of the actual gameplay then?
No, yeah, the gameplay is as true to the original as it can be. I think there's a little stuff today with HD TVs that's just a little I think inherent. Occasionally can be a lag, and some TVs will have a game mode or a way to get around that. But outside of that, the game itself, I'm super picky when I'm playing it on TVs to no, switch this thing, this refresh rate's no good, or stuff like that. We'll put it into game mode so that the controls can be as accurate as possible. But inside the core, the guts, the game, it is the 8-bit original kind of reborn. But yeah, we didn't change any of the values that way or change the controls or anything like that. So there is a button config, so if you didn't like the way the buttons are laid out, you can remap them however you want.
Are you bringing out any extras, any sort of things for fans to sort of explore in the game?
In the main games are as is, but outside of that there's a challenge mode that takes pieces of each of the 6 games and kind of weaves them together to be these new really for people who know the games really well, it's well, can you do this? Can you do this? Can you fight all 8 robot masters from 2 or 3 with just 1 life bar? Can you tackle these 6 areas in a row from 1 through 6? Things like that. And those all have leaderboards and replays, so whoever the #1 person in the world is, you can watch the replay and see exactly how they did it, which I like to do, and then try to mimic it and see how close I can get to that time, just out of pure curiosity. And then we also have, each of the games has a database of the enemies, so you can kind of scroll through and look at the original art for the enemy and an enemy description. But inside that, you can, for example, if you are fighting Quick Man in Mega Man 2 and you just keep dying, you can jump straight to the boss and practice and just fight this boss over and over and be okay, I think I got it. And this is more suited for beginners or people who haven't played in 15, 20 years to have a chance to oh, well, I don't want to play through Quick Man stage just to die over and over again. So you can hop straight to him, practice, and hopefully I think that might make some of the more challenging areas not easier, but it's easier to learn when you can practice them in isolation. So those are the 2 big things. There's also a music player. There's also borders because the old games are 4x3. There's some other cosmetic stuff like that. But yeah, the big things are the challenge mode and the museum. Yeah.
Sounds like a pretty nice little package here. When are you planning to bring it out?
It's coming out this summer for Xbox One, PS4, and PC, and then $14.99 digital, and then this winter is a Nintendo 3DS version. So,
cool. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.